Hi everyone. I welcome you all to my YouTube channel. And this is the third session of our Singleton Design Pattern. And today we are going to discuss about how to make our Singleton class, Singleton Design Pattern, a thread safe, right? So let's start here. So two things we are going to do in this session. First, we will test our class that we had created in the last session, and that if it is a thread safe or not. And if we find that that singleton class that we had created in the last session is not thread safe, then we'll go ahead and we'll make sure that we make that class as a thread safe. Okay, so I'll start with the same place where I had stopped in the last session. So let's open Visual Studio, and this is the same code that we had executed in the last session, where we were trying to create object number 1, object number 2, and object number 3, and we had found that we are able to implement the singleton design pattern, and we were getting the same object all the time, and it was not creating different object. Even when we were saying get instance, it was always giving me the same object. Now, to prove that my this singleton implementation, what I have implemented here, is not thread safe, what I will need to do is I will need to simulate some kind of environment where I can do a concurrent request, where multiple clients should be trying to create objects from my singleton class at the same time, right? So normally if you create a web-based application, there will be lots of users who would be sending a request, right? Let's say you wanted to log something, or there could be so many scenarios where, there any website, if you take for an example, at the same time, lots of users would be hitting. Let's say you wanted to take an example of Amazon.com. So at the same time, thousands of users are trying to add any product in their cart, or thousands of people are trying to make a payment. So there are a lot of requests that would be coming in. So similar kind of environment we will need to simulate. So to do that, we will just change some code here. Instead of trying to create an object in this way, we'll just make a little bit of change here, right? And then we'll see if my singleton class is a thread safe or not. Okay, so I'm changing the way that I was creating the object earlier, and I'm just removing all these code for now. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, instead of calling the object like this, let me create some method here which would be creating an object. Okay, so let's say I say private static and void, and I say create first object. Okay, and okay, and then I say singleton s1 equal to s1 equal to, I'll just copy it. C could be, then sorry, and then I wanted to print one message. Let's say I say console dot write line object. Let's say I want to say s1, right? I'll say s1 object is created. Okay. Now let's do this. Okay, I'm sorry. X. I am in the main method. Let's put it outside. Then wait. Now let's create one more method. So I wanted to create multiple. The way I have, I was trying to create 3 objects. So I wanted to do the same thing, but this time I am trying to do with some method. Okay, why I'm creating a method is because I wanted to do some. I wanted to simulate a scenario where I can try to create, or multiple clients should be trying to create the object at the same time, right? Let's say I say second, and I say S2 object is created, and then again S2 object is created. We copy it, and to this I say create third object. Okay, and then I say S3, and then I say here S3 object is created. Let me do one more thing here. So I have a private constructor here. I am saying console dot write line private constructor is called. Private constructor is what, right? So whenever this constructor will get called, right, what is going to happen is I'll get this message private constructor is called. And when this method will get called, whenever this get instance method is getting called, right? And how many times I'm calling here is get instance, I'm calling in create third object, create second object, and create first object. But I have not yet called it. So now I wanted to do some parallel invocation. So I'm going to use a parallel invoke method here. If you are not aware about parallel task and parallel processing, we may discuss this about the parallel invoke and parallel task and how to use the parallel maybe in some other session when we will be talking about the parallelism and the task and all of this stuff. But for now, to understand what we are trying to do is we are trying to create a scenario where multiple, we can have multiple clients trying to create objects from the singleton class at the same time, right? So let me do it here, parallel dot invoke, okay, and then this, and inside this, what I can do is I will say create C, then next create second method. So what I'm going to do is I'm calling first method, second method, and third method. Okay. And then create, copy, okay, right, and then this, right? So what I have done here is I am calling parallel.invoke, and there I'm trying to call my first method, second method, and third method. What it is going to do is it will call all 3 methods at the same time, right? And now let's done. Yes, this is our existing code which we have seen in our second session, and this is a change that I have done. I have just put a message. So whenever this singleton constructor is called, we'll get this line printed, and then we are writing all these 3 things, right? And let's run this code with chap 5, and we'll do this explanation as well. Let's run this code first. I have just pressed F5. Okay, and now if you see the message here, right? So first it says private constructor is called and S2 object is created. So first of all, S2 got created, and then it says private constructor is called, then S3 object is created, then S3 got created, and then it says private constructor is called, and then S1 object is created, then S1 object is created. So what has happened is, if you see this private constructor is called, I'm seeing that it got printed 3 times. It means, what does it mean is, this message I have printed here, it means this constructor got called 3 times. When this constructor will got called 3 times? When we say new singleton. It means, though I have tested instance equal to null, but still I am able to create 3 different objects. This block of the code got executed 3 times. Though even if I was checking if it is null or not, but what happened is all 3 came at the same time, right? So this check got failed. So because all 3 came at the same time, it was null. But by the time it came here, it created 3 different objects. So now I have S1 and S2 and S3, 3 different objects. And just to prove that, I had printed this message. Right? Hope this makes the thing clear that this implementation of Singleton design pattern is not thread safe, because we are able to create 3 different objects. And how I can tell is because this message got printed 3 times. It means this line got executed 3 times. It means we created 3 objects, right? So now what we wanted to do is we wanted to restrict, right? We wanted to restrict that in no case I should be able to create more than 1 object. It means what I have to do is we need to make some provision that even if I have 3 people coming in, 3 clients are trying to create an object, right? It should not come here. There should be some kind of gatekeeper, which will see, okay, fine. Okay, I have got 3 people, but what I can do is I can let only 1 person to get inside it. Okay, so only 1 client can come inside it, and until unless this piece of code is completed, it won't allow anybody else to come, right? How can we do that? So what we can do is we can put a lock, right? So how I am going to implement is I'm going to create an object. Let's say I say private static object. Let's say I put the name as lock object equal to new object. Okay, so I have got a new object. Okay, and here I say lock on lock object. Okay, and then I see this is my piece of code. Sorry, this is my piece of code which should be locked. Okay, till here. Okay, so now what is going to happen is even if I get 3 requests to even if 3 people are calling get instance at the same time, 3 clients are trying to call the get instance 3 times, what is going to happen is it will come here. But this lock, what it is going to do is it will lock this entire code block, and it will let only 1 request to go inside. Okay, and until unless 1 request is done from a whole code execution, it won't allow the second one to come inside. So let's say first, so I have 3, all 3 came here, right? But now only 1 can enter here. So it will check for the first time if instance is equal to null. Yes, then it will create a new object. Now instance will get some value. Now once this is done, automatically second will come, anyone, right? And then it will check, is instance equal to null? No, it's not null. What is going to happen? It will come out of this and then it will return the same instance. Let's prove it. Let's run this code. So I have not changed anything here. So I'm still trying to call this 3 times, right? And then I have put a lock here, right? And now I'm going to run the same piece of code. Let's press F5. So what is the expected output this time? Expected output is that I should be getting, let it run by the time. I should be getting private constructor is called only one time, right? Let's see where it is. Okay, it is stuck somewhere. Okay, sorry, just waiting for my key press. Somewhere I have written something. Okay, so what happens is, see, if you see in this, at this time, it says private constructor is called only one time. But then if you see, S2 object is created, S1 object is created, and S3 object is created. So I got 3 objects created, but private constructor was called only once. Let's try to run it one more time. Let's press F5, right? And then this time also, if you see, private constructor is called, is getting printed only one time, and then S2 object is created, S1 object is created, is created. So all 3 objects got created. It means this method is got called, this method also got called, this method also got called, because I am seeing this value got printed, but then this line got executed only once. It means this method was called, this line got executed only once, right? So in this way, we can make our Singleton design pattern thread safe. But there is a problem in this locking mechanism, right? We'll talk about this problem, about this locking mechanism and how to overcome this problem as well in my next video. And for now, that's it. And as I requested you in my last session also, when you're going through all these videos, please make sure that you're just not going through the videos, but you are also trying to implement it when I'm also doing, right? It might take you another 5 minutes to type the code and run it. But if you do it, you'll be able to understand it even more clearly, and the things will be there in your mind for a longer time, right? Thanks a lot for watching this video, and we'll meet again with my next video, where we will be talking about the problems that we have in the locking mechanism in this Singleton design pattern. Thank you all.